Fans knew from the very beginning, once they saw the first bit of promotional material for the Marvels, that it was going to be a total nightmare for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And really, ever since it was announced, it was originally supposed to be a Captain Marvel sequel, but nobody wanted more Captain Marvel. Nobody wanted Miss Marvel. Nobody wanted these characters, yet they decided to push it out anyway. And it was a complete horrendous flop. Rock bottom for the MCU. But it's so easy to get caught up in that failure and forget the massive failure that Marvel had earlier in the year. That, of course, was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Ant-Man 3, which was supposed to kick off Phase 5, give us the big bad Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror this time. And it fell on its face. What was supposed to generate excitement about the future of the MCU, it was just a big giant turd that really left people underwhelmed. After Ant-Man 3's second weekend box office collapse, should Marvel get concerned? Yeah, clearly they should have been concerned all along. This is a movie that made about $475 million worldwide that was the worst performing in the franchise. But it's actually worse than we initially expected because we had been told, well, you know what, at least it's only a $200 million budget on this movie. That felt hard to believe considering how much CGI work, VFX was probably needed for it, but that's what Disney said. That's what Disney claimed, a $200 million budget. Even so, it's still a movie that would have lost a significant amount of money for them. The break even probably somewhere around the $600 million range. Well, now we're finding out that it is much, much different. That in fact, it's not $200 million, just like Disney's been fudging the numbers and trying to pretend like things are successes when in reality they spend way more money than they should have on something. This is exactly the case with Ant-Man Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was one of Marvel's most expensive movies ever, reveals a new report. And just like we see so often, you end up with these numbers that they have to report because of tax benefits they can get in the UK by making it there. They have to very clearly report everything that they spent on it so they can get a big reimbursement. Well, now that Marvel's officially had to do all that paperwork, turns out they spent $330 million on this gigantic piece of shit. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is set to blow its budget as costs surge to nearly $330 million. Now, again, this is Carolyn Reed from Forbes. She puts a lot of these type articles out there, getting those UK numbers, end up getting published on Forbes. The one thing that's always absent in these articles is the estimates for marketing, which for this movie, you're looking between $100 and $150 million in additional costs just in marketing. So think about that. This is a movie now that they ballooned this budget 63.3% higher than what they put out there to the public. And even after you get the refund from the UK government, probably about $50,000, $60,000 back, that still cost them $275 million to do this. Think about that for a moment. That means when you add on, let's say $100 million, just to be okay, just to say, hey, $100 million, that's a conservative estimate for Disney marketing. It's probably more like 150. But you say that, you're looking at $375 to $400 million that they have sunk in this. And based on what they got back from the box office, because they only get to keep, rough estimate, about 50% of these numbers, you're talking about a movie that's $150 million at a minimum in the hole. We are talking about another multi-$100 million loss for Disney at the box office that they tried to basically sweep under the rug. The fact that you would report this, that you would let people run with the $200 million budget claim when because of post-production, because of all these things, it blows up to $330 million, that should damn near be criminal. I'm not even fucking around. To mislead people like that, to let people run with that and think that, well, maybe they had a chance of potentially sneaking out a profit. No, that's bullshit. This thing lost probably $150 to $200 million for Disney, for Marvel at the box office. And we only find out about it almost a year after because Disney really didn't want to admit that they spent this amount of money until they absolutely had to. A pathetic failure, but this just tells you these budgets are out of control. So even when you see things that people are excited about, like Deadpool and Wolverine, you have to ask the question, how much did this movie fucking cost them? Because if they're setting themselves up, if they spend $350 million on something like this, which is not out of the realm of possibility anymore, If they spend that, you're looking to have to make $1 billion almost just to break even. That is not sustainable, yet this is what Marvel and Disney continue to do. What do you guys think about this? It just continues to get worse financially for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.